What's up, guys, and welcome back to a new video on my YouTube channel. Welcome back. So we see here the Bitcoin liquidation map, okay? And what it shows us is that, in the 48-hour range, there's still some liquidations left, but a lot of people already got liquidated at the 114K level, because that's the level I told you we might find support, but there were so many people longing the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin as itself, which is the reason why, I believe, which is one of the reasons why we faked it up. There was a fake pump and we dumped, finally, and liquidated hundreds of millions, as you can see. But now what we can see is they're building up new liquidations as these people now turn into short traders, right? And we can see a lot of money here still on the 84-hour chart, a lot of hundreds of millions up here, about to be liquidated the next few days, I believe, and I'll explain to you why in a second. So we see a little bit of liquidation at the 112K level, so we might head a little bit back down. I told you in my video, I believe yesterday or the day before, that the 113.5K level is an important level to hold. If we break through, I will not be bullish anymore, but I changed my mind a little bit. I mean, I'm not bullish yet. I'll wait for the whole pattern to play out, right? We wait for Bitcoin to make the whole move down, to come down, to liquidate everybody. And once we get confirmation, we'll get in back in the long trades, right? But now is not the time yet, in my opinion, okay? I'm still waiting. I'm still not longing anything because we might, have a quick dump lower on the 112,300. I hope we hold the 112K level. That would be very nice. And we'll see, on the 1 week time frame, it looks a little bit different, a little bit. You can see that, guys. Come on. Insane, you see the 112K level and you see the 120K level, yeah? You see how many people are going short. And every market maker who sees that, has money in their eyes because they want to liquidate these big amounts, okay? That's one indicator we're looking at right now, okay? The liquidation map. Because it's very likely that we will eat, or we will eat is crazy, but we'll get to the liquidation level, right? Okay, number two, and that's a nice pattern I also showed in my last video, is this resistance level, okay? In April, we had the bottom and we saw the USDC dominance, which means the stable coins, US dollar, had as its peak, at its peak with 8.85%. Okay, then we saw a pump in crypto. The money flew into crypto, right? And on June 22, we had another dump. We can compare it perfectly. Here. We can see it. This is the 7th of April, right? The market, or the Bitcoin, was after 109K came down to 75K, which is Bitcoin goes down, USDT dollar dominance goes up, right? Makes sense. Stable coins go up, crypto goes down, crypto goes up, stable coins dominance goes down. And we saw the same happening on the 22nd of June, right? And now you can exactly see that we hit again this resistance level, okay? This resistance level, and we also are about to hit this resistance level here, okay? It's an important resistance level. As we can see, we hit support here first time. We came down, we hit resistance again. We came down, we hit resistance again. We hit resistance here multiple times, guys. Multiple times. Came down more, hit resistance again, lower, then broke out the resistance, okay? Pumped. That's where we saw the dump move actually happening, right? Then we got lower. We saw Bitcoin moving down. Actually, Bitcoin moving up. That's why the dominance got lower, right? Hit support again, went up, hit support again. You see, this is a major trend line right here, okay? And now we broke out this level. We pumped, retested the level. And what I believe could happen, very likely, is that we dumped, right? So the market pumped actually. We now dump, retest the level, and after that, boom, we'll come lower again, because we are not, or you know, the market is strong enough to hold this level. This is a very strong level, guys. If we break out through this level, I mean, to the level of maybe 6, yeah, somewhere between 6.6% to 6.7%, you know, which would be a clear breakout, then we might retest it, and that's the time when I will be shorting the market probably. One indicator why I would short the market, because then we might rise. As we also see a little bit of divergence here, but you know, that's one bullish indicator. We saw it before happening, right? We saw it, for example, here happening. We had bullish divergence, right? We had a low, then we had a lower low, but on the RSI we had a higher low, okay? You can see it. But after that, what happened is we still dropped lower, and we still dropped a little bit, you know, lower than this first low, and you know, the RSI got stronger by time. So what I can imagine happening is we'll get lower, RSI might come to this level again, you know, to 30 level. That's by the way on the daily chart right now. And yeah, after that, you know, I see big resistance at these levels, guys. We pay close attention. We don't trade anything right now. Ton trade, we closed it with break even basically, because the market starts pumping a little bit. You know, it's all good. It is what it is. And yeah, that's my take on this. Actually, on this chart, I really like it. That's a huge level here. Once the resistance, we might fake it out a little bit and then boom, dump. Okay, that's what I expect soon happening. Another indicator why I expect this to happen, okay, is because we can see what happened 2013 first, right? Just for you guys to understand, to get a slight idea of what happened before your 2013 bull run, okay? What we saw is 3rd of August, right? We set a bottom, and then, okay, we had a double bottom on 8th of August, same level, right? We pumped to the 14th of August, dumping to the 17th of August, right here, pumping to the 21st of August, dumping a little bit, and then all-time high 2nd of September, okay? 2nd of September. Remember, just, you know, you don't need to remember a lot. Just beginning is 3rd of August, ending 2nd of September, okay? Now, we'll look at the other charts. I did it on the other. That's okay. We'll find it. Yes, here. We'll go to the 2017 bull run, okay? And what we see, what we see is basically that start, you know, we had a low, yeah, we came up, we hit a low again, 3rd of August or 2nd of August actually, okay, 2nd of August, right? And then we pumped to the 15th of August, right? This low was the last low before we pumped, okay? 2nd of August until, why is it the 3rd actually? 2nd of August until the 15th to 17th of August, okay? Then we dumped to the 22nd of August and we pumped. See that? You know, the actual high or the peak was at the 2nd of September again. You know, once again, the move started on the 2nd of August, ended on the 2nd of September. What a coincidence, right? And now what we see is, guys, 2024, actually 21, not 24, 21, we saw, let's see, guys, you know, I mean, what can I say, right? What can I say? We started this move, yeah, between the 3rd of August till the 5th of August, right? Around this area, so probably the 4th of August, we could say. We pumped to the 14th of August again, guys. You remember this number, right? It's always the 14th to 17th of August where we hit the high, okay? The first high. Before we then dump. This was like an 8% dump, I believe. 8.5. Yeah, 8.7 was it, right? 8.7% dump, okay? And we hit the low on the 19th of August. We pumped again, you know. You can see it here. That's like the 3rd of August, we dumped a little bit, and ultimate all-time high before we then dumped massively was on the 6th of September, okay? A little bit delayed, 6th of September. So now, remember these numbers, guys. Remember these numbers. What do we see now, guys? Isn't it a coincidence? Come on. Isn't it a coincidence? We saw the bottom on the 3rd of August, guys. We saw the top on the 14th of August, okay? And the only thing that's different is that we pumped here almost the same amount that we dumped here, almost the same amount that we pumped, right? That's the only difference I can see here right now. But I don't, the thing is, that's the only problem about this pattern, right? That's the only problem about this pattern, because I told you on last video, we had this major trend line. This is the 7th of April, 22nd of June, and this is the 3rd of August, right? Perfectly on the trend line. And now we broke out this trend line, which might be a reason for a bigger drop. We don't trade anything right now. We wait for confirmation, wait for breakout on the USDT DC dominance. Maybe we'll retest this level again. Actually, we did it already, but on the daily chart is where I want to see it. We retested this level again, or we saw it retesting. You see, we broke out this level, we retested it again, and then dump further, okay? That's what happens most of the time. And that's the only concern I have right now, but I'm still overall bullish. As we always see, 14th was bad. Now we are at the 19th, okay? So I believe if we should see a reversal soon, right, then it should be within the next 2-3 days, okay? Within the next 2-3 days, we should see a reversal, and that's basically it, okay? So that's my take on this one. I like this pattern, I like the setup, it's nice. And yeah, so we wait on a retest, we wait on the setup to play out fully. Now it's bearish, right? It looks very bearish. If we retest it, we might go a little bit short in case, right? We might go a little bit short, and after we might, either we get stopped out or we see the major dump lower, We prepare for bad times. We go a little bit short with a little bit of an amount, but we wait for that for now. And what else I wanted to show you is, I almost forgot, guys. What we can also see is the trend-based Fibonacci extension, okay? I mean, this plays out perfectly right now, guys. That's, for example, another bullish indicator, okay? So between bullish and bearish indicators, it's like 70% bullish, 30% bearish, okay? Maybe 80% bullish even on the midterm. Short term, we might dump a little bit lower, but this is one indicator I really like, because we exactly hit the 113K level where the actual, low is positioned. And now what we might see is, what I'm really waiting for, honestly, is for the confirmation that we pump a little bit, okay, to the 115K level maybe. We come down once again, but not as low as we were here, right? We come down to the level of, maybe we see the 114K level, which is a very good support level. And after that, that's where we want to load up, right? That's the moment where we want to load up. We don't load up on the bottom, we load up on the second leg, okay? We never want to load up on the bottom, we want to load up on the second leg. Because then, we have definitely a confirmation on how the market is moving and will be moving, right? So yeah, we'll dump. Now we might pump to 115 or, to this level here, the 114,600. Then we might dump again to the 113.5 maybe, slightly above the low. We want to load up between 114 to, it depends on how high we get. Maybe we come to the level of 117. Then we want to load up on 114, because then the retest would be bearish a little bit, because we might then break out lower. That's why we're waiting for the moment, right? Because the market, 99% out of the time, when we see the market doing a fast bottom, right? You can see it every time, guys, every time. We see a fast dump, okay? Bottom, everybody thinks we pump, and we see the double bottom, okay? Then we go higher. We see the fast dump, everybody thinks, okay, now it was the bottom, we go a little higher, then we see the fast dump. And you know, the risk now, you know, the risk to load up exactly here, right, when we are about to hit the double bottom, loading up here, we can set the stop loss below this level of the first bottom, right? This is the most powerful thing about that. The risk is very low. So now we wait, because it will never do like this and then just pump. That's, you know, 99% of the time, it will not do that. It will first do like a bottom, we'll come up, we'll set it high low mostly. Sometimes, you know, even maybe a tight, you know, a little lower low. That's why we can set the stop loss around this level, for example. And, you know, then we might pump. That's what it most of the times does, you know. You can see it exactly here. We pump, little higher low, right? Higher low. That's where we want to load up, guys, because the risk now, we can just set a stop loss, you know. This was, and you guys, this is exactly what I did, actually. Funny. That's really, really funny. That's how I made my risky trading account. I traded it up from 3K to 26K in a week. That was pretty dope. That's exactly what I did, you know. I saw this 112K. I prayed that we will hold this 112K level, which was very important for my thesis. Then we came up, okay. We hit this higher low. And this is exactly, guys, on the 112,600 to 113,600, I started loading up Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin with 100x leverage on cross, okay. Stop loss exactly below this level on $111.8 thousand, right? So my risk was really, you know, my average, I believe, was 113.2. If I look at every, you know, it's a 1.3% risk. It was a 1.3% risk with 100x leverage is minus 130%, right? I had, you know, double of the amount. I put in 1.5K approximately, and the other 1.5K I had just laying on the account. And, you know, I put some into Ethereum, some into Solana, which went very good because Bitcoin didn't do so good, maybe 600-700%. On Ethereum, I did 2,000% approximately. On Solana, 1,500. And yeah, that was dope trades, you know. And that's exactly where we want to go in, right? On the higher low, the risk is limited. We don't need to take every trade, guys. We just want to take the good ones, because you see 113, let's say your average would be even 114. You know, you missed a little bit out, you went a little bit too early, you start sizing in here. You know, you still made 9% on a 10x leverage. It's 90%. You know, you can go in with 10K on a 10x leverage, make 9K out of this pump, right? Whereas your downside potential here, stop loss on 111,700 something, it's 2%, guys. 2% against 9, with a chance of roughly 70 to 80% to succeed. You know, you want to take these setups. You risk 2K for 9K with a chance of 80% winning, right? That's the setup you want to take. So we're patiently waiting. I hope we come a little lower. You know, we break a little bit. You know, the ideal scenario, I'm telling you right now, would be that we exactly hit this range between this low and this low. We don't exceed the low here. We don't hit a lower low, but a slightly higher low, okay? Somewhere between this, you know, in this area, 112,300 would be the ideal area, okay? Because then, guys, you know what we'll do, I believe, is, you know, we come down lower to this area approximately. We'll do something like that, okay? 114 something. We come again on this area, 113 point. You know, we'll do something like this, and then we pump. Right? This is the scenario I'm looking for, and this is exactly the time where I'm looking for to load up, guys. This is the limited risk times we want to go in, because we still expect the market to reverse in the next 2 to 3 days latest, right? And if, you know, because right now it's still everything in time, this could still go on for, okay, this is actually too far exceeded. It should be somewhere around here, okay? Somewhere around here we should see already. Yeah, this was too much, man. This was too much. It was too big. I thought I was on the hourly time frame, but why? You know, so I'll do it again. Something like, oh, this is too, damn. Oh man, something like this, okay. Pump a little bit, hit this level again, and then boom. Okay. And then, yeah, that's good. That's a nice one. So roughly like this, that's what I expect or I hope for to do, so we can load up, as I said once again, on this area then, right? That's where we want to load up before the massive pump. And we might pump to, I said it earlier, end of August, still 128K plus. You know, that was my thesis or my expectation since the beginning of August to pump until 128K. That's why actually also I didn't sell all my bags. I sold them now on the way down because here I sold like roughly 30% to 40% of my bags, right? And here, the rest basically. Luckily I closed Ethereum at 4.4K. You know, that was a nice one. And also, guys, Ethereum hits a very nice level soon. This is the wrong chart. Let me see. Exactly, guys. Exactly this level, okay? Two things. First of all, the trend line, right? The major trend line once again. But this is the wrong way. Let me just do it for you again, okay? Let me do it for you again. So pumping from here to the low to the high, okay? So like this, right? Damn, no, this is not what I was looking for. It's absolutely not. It's just a Fibonacci retracement. Yes, you see this, guys? So we can see it clearly, the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement at 4,080 or $75 and the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement at 3,900 approximately, right? These are two major levels, okay? I believe, you know, at this level, at this level, we should see a reversal on Ethereum. If not, here already, you know, starting from 4,100 to 3,900, there's where I expect the reversal. And also we wait as well, guys. We'll wait for our setup. Wait for our setup to play out like this. High or low, and then pump, okay? That's what we are waiting for. And that's what we're expecting to see, because you can see, guys, how fast things can pump. Within how many days? I don't see. Yeah, it was 4,800 approximately. Within 11 days, we pumped 40%. Okay, so this could absolutely play out again. Let's say now today is the 19th, okay? 21 we find the bottom, right? 40% within 11 days. We do the 40% again. Let's say we come even down to the level of 3,900, right? 40% in 11 days would bring us, guys. Do you see that? Do you see that? The same exact pattern. 40%, 11 days, 11 to 12 days, you can say. You know it perfectly, guys. 40% would bring us to the number of $5,500 and the 2nd of September. We saw when this pump ended, right? Before we then dumped 30%. Exactly on the beginning of September. And that's where we want to take major profit. So we wait patiently on this move, guys. This is really the move that we want to wait for. We can make thousands of dollars, and will make thousands of dollars if we're patient, okay? That's the most important about this right now. And funny, because, guys, it's very funny actually, because what else we can see is, if we put this level here, okay, we can see resistance at 4,900 and 5,400, okay. When we put the resistance, this is the second, we can see it again on 5,500, right? Fibonacci 3.61. We now didn't even hit. That's why, you know, I like the setup, because wave up, correction, we pumped again. The wave didn't end yet, you know, the overall wave didn't end, because, you know, we should actually hit this and then come low. That's when we know, okay, a wave is probably over, but that's a different story. I don't want to talk about too many waves right now. And that's, you guys. So the 5,500 to 5,800 level is really the level I see Ethereum pumping next. So let me just say it like that, okay? we will be waiting patiently for our moment to come, and on this level of 4,000, 4,100, we'll manage to find our entry, okay? And from 4,100, let's say 4,100 an average, we're going with cross margin, so we have a little, you know, we have a safer liquidation price, and we'll pump to 5,500, guys. On a 100x leverage, that's a, you see that, guys, it's 3,500%. Okay, 3,500% with just $100, you make $3,500. Is that correct? Yeah, it's correct, I believe. Yeah, it's correct. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Out of $100, 3.5K, 1K, 35K. Okay, that's the trade we want to take. That's the trade we want to take. And we will be waiting patiently. And I even think, you know, I'd rather trade Ethereum than Bitcoin, because, ooh, you see this support level here, guys, at 4,100. That's the reason, you know, that's the reason why I think we might even reverse today. You know, we might even reverse today once Bitcoin, you know, hits even lower, or does the lower low, I mean, you know, we might, you know, already hit the bottom. And guys, I forgot to show you, damn, I have so many things in my head, you know, I'm just doing all my videos freestyle basically. That's why it's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit messy at some point, but it's okay. So what we can see is the head and shoulders pattern. Let me go on the hourly so you can see it better, right? Head and shoulders pattern, I called it before, shoulder, head, shoulder, okay? And then what we saw is we can measure it, right? From the head down to the bottom here, okay? Like that. From the breakout to the bottom, which lead us again to the $4,000 level, guys. This is an important level. I want to be loading up. Yeah, I'll load up soon, actually. You know, once we hit a lower low here, a lower low starting from 4,090, let me check, okay? Let me check how much percentage it is. Oh, that's 5. Yeah, I think at 3,850 is where I want to get out, because we then, you see, we then cross the major support. Yeah, actually 3,800 would be really the level. 3,820. But this 6.6%, this is hard, guys. Damn, this would be way too early. That would be way too early. Yeah, we just wait, you know. We don't go in now. We wait for this higher low, as I said many times right now. And that's when we want to go in. So thank you guys for listening. That's it on the take for now. Quick update to Bitcoin, quick update to Ethereum. Solana might pump as well. Pretty decent, you know. Look, you see this? Another trend-based Fibonacci extension, and ooh, this looks juicy, guys. I'm telling you for real. Like, look at that, man. It looks awesome. 175 level is major support. Yeah, I might even go along, because what I really like about this one is that you see the RSI divergence, right? You see it. Damn, why is it doing that, man? What's that? What did I do, man? What did I do? Let me just delete the MACD real quick. Let me make this bigger. And you can see it clearly, right? You can see the huge divergence as we go down. Okay, as we go down, the RSI divergence, which also shows the buying strength, we go up. And we see it from the start here, from the 15th of August. We see a strength building up, okay? On the 4-hour chart, it looks the same basically, right? Yeah, we see a bottom. Not really, you know, that's, yeah, 4-hourly doesn't look that juicy actually. Should have left it on the 1-hourly. No, but the 4-hourly still has some potential up, you know, so we might pump a little bit, come down a little lower, and then do the lower high and boom, pump, okay? We wait for the lower high anyways. I will never, or mostly never, wants to buy the bottom, you know, the actual bottom, you know, that's higher risk than the second bottom, you know, as I said, the second time we hit a higher low, or even, you know, hit a slightly lower low, that's the time where we want to load up big, okay? And that's it on this video. Oh, guys, I forgot, you know, this chart, I'm waiting for ton to break out again. And yeah, anyways, you know, It's nothing new. I will just repeat myself 100 times, waiting for the higher high, waiting for the higher low. The thing is that we broke out this level and we retested it perfectly. Okay, we retested it perfectly. I hope this is just a fake out, because this cycle I feel like there are more fake outs. You know, are there more fake outs happening? So yeah, we'll see if this is truth. You know, guys, I don't want to be the bear in this scenario, but it's possible that we see TON going down to the 270. Damn, that's so accurate. You know why? You know why this is so accurate? It's because of this chart, because of this trend line. Okay, it's exactly because of this trend line, ladies and gentlemen. The 275 level. You know, if this chart breaks down lower, that's why we were waiting. You know, we want to really have confirmation in everything. We want to feel that the market doesn't want to buy it, so we can buy. And now is the feeling not there yet. So we can be patient. And if this plays out, then we have generational entry for real. If this pumps, we are still invested in good memes. But guys, by the way, guys, get yourself. I just wanted to say, get yourself Ucha at 16 million. I just wanted to say, get yourself Ucha at 60 million. It was at 60 million, real, you know, for a little bit of time. No, 12k. You see this guy, whales are buying, guys. 13k buys on Ucha. They probably saw my videos. That's the reason why they want to buy it. So now at 18.5, still a good entry. Guys. Get yourself a bag if you haven't yet. You know, and yeah, let's rock it. Let's win together. See you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy and bye.